Now on CoastTV News.
Coolers full of blood. We take a look at a life-saving partnership.
Worried about Pride Month, the time for commemorating the LGBTQ+ community now has some filled with fear due to the current political climate.
Axle anxieties. Milton looks to restrict large trucks on several streets throughout town.
We've been upgraded from marginal to slight risk of storms for tonight, so we have a stormy night ahead of us. I'm going to be tracking some serious storms that I need to tell you about for this evening.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Good evening. I'm Christina D. Robertus. Madeline Overturf has that evening off.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 5. We begin tonight with storms heading our way. We're taking a look into Dover here. You can see the cloud cover as we check in with our First Alert Chief Meteorologist, Paul Williams. And Paul, what should we expect tonight?
We have a red alert evening, so we're watching out for certain conditions for this red alert day. An inch or more possibly of rain for tonight, and we're looking for winds sustained at gusts over 40 miles per hour. And we're looking for a possible high impact event to occur. Now, what are we talking about? We're talking about we've been upgraded from marginal to slight over the entire Delmarva Peninsula. So the threat is damaging winds, hail, and the possibility outside and very small for an isolated tornado, but that's part of the mix. So as you take a look at our more concerns, we're really dealing with, let's say, 60 mile per hour winds, and they're very strong. That's our concern for later on this evening, possibly starting as early as 7 o'clock. We are clear for right now, but this is a bad thing, because the more sunshine we receive now, the more these storms that are on the way will have more energy as they approach us. And what we have right now is a history of tornado watches and severe thunderstorm warnings as a result of this system. Now, coming up, we're going to detail more as far as the tracking of this storm is concerned. And be sure you stay tuned to our social media and be sure you download our QR code. This is a night in which you may need that.
All right, thank you, Paul. Well, people were squeezing stress balls and donating blood at the Sussex County Public Safety Complex in Georgetown today. Sussex County EMS and the Blood Bank of Delmarva have a long-standing partnership. Today was their second annual blood drive. CoastTV reporter Zakia Jennings shows us how donating whole blood keeps people alive on Delmarva.
A room full of people pitching in to help save a life in the future. One of them, Karen Towers, who stopped by the Sussex County Public Safety Complex to donate whole blood.
I'm donating because of the need for O-negative blood. I know that it's a big need in this county, and the EMS trucks are taking it out live on the trucks. So I felt a need to give.
Today marks 2 years since Sussex County EMS started carrying whole blood when responding to trauma calls. Jordan Datoli, field coordinator for the Sussex County EMS, says when it comes to doing everything they can to save lives, this is
it's a game changer. I would tell you that people that were on the brink of death, actively dying in front of us, they're not awake, they're not talking to us, and we're able to give them whole blood, and they wake up and they start asking us questions before they even get to the hospital.
Charles Tennerman is a paramedic and felt it was important to donate even on his day off.
If we're going to tell other people that we think they should donate and need to do it, then I think we need to try to practice what we preach and do the same as well.
Datoli says the summer season is the perfect time to donate whole blood.
People travel here during the summer, so with that influx of people is the influx of demand for whole blood. You know, certainly it is the trauma season.
Saving lives one volunteer at a time. In Georgetown, Zakia Jennings, Coast TV News.
If you've driven through Milton, you've probably experienced a narrow street or two. The town is looking to put more restrictions on large trucks driving through parts of town, specifically for trucks with more than 2 axles or weighing over 5,000 pounds. If adopted, and this is important, the ordinance would not apply to trucks providing local services. One Miltonian hopes the change goes through.
I think it's not only prudent and reasonable, but it's wise. It's a safety concern. It's very difficult to walk around at the shops and things, and the local traffic and the local cars have difficulty when there are those big things coming through.
The Milton Town Council is discussing this at their meeting scheduled for Monday night, and this brings us right into our Coast TV poll. We want to know, how do those trucks impact your drive through coastal towns?
Let's take a look at the results here. 59% say they have no problem with it. 5% say it's a safety hazard. 13% say too noisy. 23% worried about causing delays.
Now, if you haven't voted yet, you can do that. You can also leave a comment at coasttvnews.com or use the mobile app.
Well, Rehoboth Beach has long been a haven for the LGBTQ+ community, and with Pride Month just 2 days away, there's lots of anticipation and excitement for the month. But with the Trump administration in Washington, some people tell us fear has become a worry of theirs. And CoastTV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Rehoboth Beach. Brandon, you're at an LGBTQ+ resource center.
Christina, here in Camp Rehoboth, they're holding events all month long for Pride Month. That's going to bring smiles towards the LGBTQ+ community. But out in talking people a part of the community, it's not all smiles. And the finger is being pointed towards Washington. Coast TV spoke with a woman whose son is a part of the LGBTQ+ community, who says it was a lot easier for him this time last year.
I think the current administration is despicable, and I think this is a time for the gay community to come out, be seen, be proud of who they are, and to show the world that they're just wonderful people.
Here in Rehoboth Beach, there will be a flag raising at the City Hall on Sunday at 1 p.m. to officially mark the beginning of Pride Month here in the nation's summer capital. In Rehoboth Beach, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Former President Joe Biden was in Newcastle today to speak at a Memorial Day service. The annual Memorial Day event here in Delaware also coincides with the 10-year anniversary of his son Beau's passing from brain cancer. Afterwards, the 82-year-old addressed his health for the first time since revealing he has an aggressive form of prostate cancer.
This is good, you know. We're working on everything. It's moving along. I feel good. It's all a matter of taking a pill, one particular pill. And for the next 6 weeks, and then another one. The expectation is we're going to be able to beat this.
His appearance comes after a recently released book reveals questions regarding his mental and physical abilities during his final year in office.
Elon Musk's stint as a special employee at the White House is coming to a close. NBC's Ryan Nobles shows us how he joined President Trump in the Oval Office today.
Today it's about a man named Elon.
An exit interview. Today, President Trump and Elon Musk facing reporters on the billionaire's final day at the White House.
I expect to remain a friend and an advisor, and certainly if there's anything the president wants me to do, I'm at the president's service.
President Trump praising the man he recruited to head up his new Department of Government Efficiency.
Elon's service to America has been without comparison in modern history. He willingly accepted the outrageous abuse and slander and lies and attacks because he does love our country.
Musk arrived with fanfare, bringing his son to the White House, declaring he was going to cut federal government waste and fraud. Today, the pair celebrating what they call a win.
I have to say that the numbers that we're talking about are substantial.
But in reality, Musk's efforts fell short. Last fall, Musk predicted he could save $2 trillion for the government. In March, he said his goal was to cut $1 trillion by May. But according to Doge's website, the agency created specifically for Musk, it has found only $175 billion in savings.
This is not the end of Doge, but really the beginning.
Doge has fired or furloughed thousands of federal employees. He even wielded a chainsaw on stage to represent slashing jobs. His methods led to nationwide protests. Teslas vandalized. Musk's business stock plummeted. Musk's White House departure comes in the wake of criticizing President Trump's signature tax bill, calling it too expensive and adding it would undermine his work with Doge.
Meanwhile, there are several lawsuits making their way through the federal court system that are designed to try and prevent the Doge cuts from taking effect. All this while Republicans in Congress have indicated plans to try and make the cuts permanent when they return to session next week. Ryan Nobles, NBC News, Washington.
It's OC Jeep Week, all the fun you can expect to see rolling through Ocean City.
Well, we're expecting more than just rumbling rainfall. We have just been issued a newly issued tornado watch. It's in effect for our entire area. That will stay in effect for all areas Delmarva until midnight for tonight. That means that we have ingredients in place for possible tornadic activity, along with gale wind warnings that are active for our area. I'll continue to keep you updated as this fast-changing story continues to morph.
But first, we'll show you all the cool things to do this weekend. That's coming up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
If you're thirsty for fun this weekend, get ready for the Rehoboth Beach Margarita Crawl. It's happening Saturday from noon to 4. For $25, you can sip and stroll your way through downtown responsibly, of course. Next up, for some fresh sounds, you can check out Milton's new music and Wind Fest on Saturday. It's free, it's family-friendly, and the finale features a 50-minute walk and listen piece by composer Terry Riley, who's turning 90 next month. Then it's off to Slaughter Beach, where the Red Knot Fest celebrates birds, crabs, and all things coastal. Finally, get your purple gear ready because Ravens Roost Weekend takes over Ocean City with beach vibes, fan fun, and a big parade down Baltimore Avenue. You can find all the details on CoastTV.com under Cool Things to Do.
We were concerned about severe weather for tonight, but things have spiraled in the wrong direction. We've already been under a red alert day. Now, since we've signed on to the newscast, we are now under a newly issued tornado watch, meaning the ingredients are on the table to form a tornado. A warning means that we have one that's active, and that's when we would cut onto programming. So let me go ahead and walk through some things. Need you to just take a moment, pay attention to what I'm saying, because everything's about timing on this system. In Ocean View, we're at 75 degrees. We're going to see those storms really fire up in Ocean View area by about 9 o'clock. And that's when those storms are going to kick in. We now have ample energy with temperatures in the upper to mid 70s for any kind of severe weather to touch off and become severe or possibly tornadic. The winds are coming out of the south, so we have energy and moisture combining for a perfect opportunity for this kind of storm. This tornado watch was issued a little bit after 5 o'clock this evening after we signed on. It's active for all counties throughout Sussex, Lewis, Bryan, Storr, Gumboro, Frankfort, Selbyville, Little Georgetown, Big Georgetown, all of that. But also for Ocean City, West Ocean City, Berlin, as well as going down towards Ironshire. And it's also inclusive of the folks that tune us in Cambridge. Once again, tornado watch means we have the ingredients on the table to make the cake. Doesn't mean it's in the oven and cooking, but we have all the ingredients on the table, so it can happen, and that's what this is talking about. In addition to that, we have some gale wind warnings, watching out for 45-mile-per-hour winds along the coast, along with flood concerns in the region in general. Here's what's happening right now. We're not seeing much right now. Now, before you look at me and say, well, what's the big deal? That's the big deal. You see that? I'm going to show it one more time. Watch this. This is the big deal. You see that emptiness right here? This is going to allow for those storms to feed on it like a Pac-Man game. You remember the old Pac-Man game? And it gobbles up all that moisture and heat? Well, see, this is where Pac-Man or the storms are located. It's going to swing in this direction. You see that? Look, right here. I'm going to show you, just showed a moment ago. We had early, see these early little circles right here? Early circulation indicating we have upper atmospheric twisting that's happening in the upper atmosphere. So we are primed at the wrong time and the wrong place with the wrong kind of moisture for this stuff to turn ugly. So tonight, stormy, red alert, dangerous winds, hail, chance of isolated tornadoes just went up just recently. For the weekend, we're watching out for scattered storms, even for Saturday. Here's our risk. We're concerned about strong winds initially, low to almost moderate concern for tornadoes. But now that we have an active watch, we're going to stay very diligent. Now, as we go into the rest of this evening, we're going to see things begin to kind of taper off for us after these storms begin to push through. Now, that being the case, now we take a look at our expectations for tomorrow. We're looking for 2 o'clock, another round of thunderstorms that'll kick in with temperatures approaching the 70-degree mark. So this is a 2-for-1 sale on this bad weather that we're talking about. See, for Saturday, we're going to stay at least at marginal. Now, we're at slight now, but for Saturday, we're going to be at least at marginal. So, serious problem tonight, still a problem tomorrow, okay? Serious tonight, still a problem tomorrow. Yellow alert day is for tomorrow. Now, what I mean by that is we're going to have a half inch to a full inch of rain and sustained gusts up to about 30 miles per hour for tomorrow. Tonight, we're going to go beyond 45 to 50 mile per hour gusts, possibly 60, just with the storms alone. So with Saturday, we see another pop that's going to happen about 4:30, particularly for the folks in Ocean View, Ocean Pines, and down near Ocean City. We simply have just an overabundance of moisture, and with that quasi-stationary frontal boundary just waffling across our area, it keeps us trying to do the balancing act in the upper atmosphere, and we're going to fall over into the severe side. We anticipate at least an inch of rain for just Saturday alone. All right, and then the winds picking up momentum. Look at this, by Saturday early in the morning, almost 40 mile per hour wind gusts coming directly out of the northwest for Georgetown, and 30 plus in all other locations, okay? So for the forecast tonight, 58 severe threat early, and then mostly cloudy skies. Tomorrow, early shower, and then an afternoon thunderstorm. Sunday, everything calms back down. Once again, red alert day. Be sure you scan our QR code so you can keep updated on your fast changing weather. We're at a red alert for tonight, and we're at a yellow alert for tomorrow.
Paul, you might be seeing a few more Jeeps than usual around Ocean City this week. That's because it is OC Jeep Week. Officials expect around 300 Jeeps every day to be driving around, some over the sand. Vendors will also be at the inlet to enjoy. All the fun ends on Sunday.
Coming up tonight on DSN, a 7:30 U.S. Dragway modified drag race. Then at 10:30, it's Outdoors Delmarva.
And coming up, a special tribute to NBC Nightly News anchor Lester Holt, who hosts his last broadcast tonight. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5. Tonight, Lester Holt anchors his final broadcast of the nightly news here on Coast TV, leaving the daily grind of evening news for a more full-time focus on Dateline.
And before he says goodbye and hands off the baton to Tom Llamas, NBC's Savannah Guthrie has this tribute to Lester as the host of Nightly News.
Nightly News begins right now.
For 10 years, Lester Holt has helmed the ship at Nightly News. The calm in the storm.
The levees holding in New Orleans.
He's guided us through some of our darkest moments.
Did you hear the shooting?
2 times, yes.
In rooms filled with power, Lester never raised his voice.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. But won't let answers go unchallenged.
I was going to fire Comey. There's no good time to do it, by the way.
Because in your letter you said I accepted their recommendation.
Yeah, well,
so you had already made the decision.
I was going to fire regardless.
A voice trusted on the biggest nights.
Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Republican presidential debate. Live coverage of election night.
And where others rush, Lester reflects.
Remember, we're in this together, and together may be the only way we find our way out of this.
But even his calm can crack when the story gets close.
My grandmother was a Houston, and there's a Houston here, and I have to call my father. Some phone calls to make.
Yes.
Here at Today, we know Lester is not afraid of a little fun or adventure.
Okay.
Slowly. Come on.
And he'll take any chance to bust out that bass. Now he'll have a little more time for his music as he steps away from the daily rhythm of nightly news. Tonight, Lester signs off one last time.
Please take care of yourself and each other.
New today, Grammy Award-winning singer Taylor Swift now owns her entire music catalog. The 35-year-old has been in a battle for about 6 years to buy back the master recordings after her former record label sold them to Shamrock Capital. Swift now has the rights to all of her music videos, concert films, album art, and unreleased songs.
Right now, we're looking out in Dover. We're quiet at this point. We're watching out for stormy weather to kick in by 7 o'clock, and that's part of the concern we have with a tornado watch that is active for all of the Delmarva Peninsula until midnight. This means we have conditions set up perfectly for possible tornadic activity. This is the latest run here. 9 o'clock, we're looking at that becoming the witching hour for Seaford, Willards, Ocean Pines, Ocean View. Then it's very interesting. Watch how this clicks over. You see this cell right here that's showing the pink? That's my concern for possible tornadic activity. Right now, it looks like it's going to form over the water and away from us. We'll keep a close eye on that. Here's a look at our umbrella winter. Keep up with your forecast by calling our weather line. And here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast.
All right, got it. Thanks, Paul, and thanks for joining us for Coast TV News at 5.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6. Have a great evening.